Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom.
Well, Cantor, I have 2 words for you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. For those of you that are with us, joining us remotely in our streaming, we're so blessed to have you. This is a really crazy time for all of us. And if you could see, you're staying away because Cantor, you are all bundled up.
It's actually pretty cool in here, and I don't want them to pump up the heat just for me, you
Right.
know, and waste all that energy and everything. So I think at some point I'll probably warm up and be able to take my coat off.
Yeah, we're going to move around a bit. We got Paul Staley back there and Bruce Corris, who will talk in just a minute. But I just want to let everyone know we're using the Mishkan Tefillah, and you should know that there is a link on our on the email that went out, on the Facebook. The Reform Movement, the URJ, has put out the entirety of Mishkan Tefillah, and Cantor cued me into this. It's a wonderful resource, and if you are able to, it might be hard for you to watch if you're looking on a smartphone and look at the pages at the same time.
Yeah, you'd probably need 2 devices, but if you have a device that you can open up the book with, a very unusual circumstance that they've just opened this up to everyone.
Yeah, it's really very, very generous of them. This is, one of their main copyrighted texts. And what we will do is we are going to be announcing pages. Some of you are familiar with the prayers, so you certainly can join in. And we're going to just assume, and we'll give you a little bit extra time. What I noticed, if you look at the screen, you can see it in different sections if you open it up now, if you want to test it out for yourself. It has 4 different, you can open it so you can see 4 pages at the same time, or you can scroll down. It also has a table of contents, which might be helpful. And I don't know, because we've never led exactly like this, I don't know how easy it is for you to use, but try it out. If you're a techno person that can embrace it, go embrace it. If you're watching, streaming, you're already there. So, but if you want to just follow along with our voices, that's fine as well.
I think it's going to be like a progression. Like you get used to looking at this book, this wonderful book we've been using for years, but you get to start managing it online. I think the first time it's going to be frustrating, and then, as you play with it as the service is going, you'll say, oh, that's how I turn the page, or that's how I fast forward to a page number, or, I think it's all it's just an education for all of us, but we're so far ahead of the game. I mean, we've been streaming for how many years?
I think it's 5 years. Is it about 5 years?
There are communities that are struggling this week to try to figure out how to do it. So I have to thank everyone. We have to thank everyone who's been involved in researching this and keeping us on point with all this.
Well, I'll tell you what, since we have an unusual circumstance, and we'll mention things over the course, because I know with online people come in at different times, but since we are live, and I do believe it's on Facebook as well, we'll keep an eye a little bit on the Facebook stream. If something is messing up a little bit, or you want to send a comment over, type something up. We'll try to take a look at it in real time. We're not aware, let's say the microphone fails or something is happening, and since you're not with us in the room, we'll try to at least allow you a chance to interact together. So why don't I bring over Bruce Corris? He is our synagogue president. We're so lucky to have him. He's worked tirelessly in a busy work week to help in this current week and environment. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for your patience, your understanding, and your support during this challenging time. It is obviously a fluid situation. Information is constantly changing, and there are new recommendations and guidelines from our local state officials every day, if not multiple times a day. As you know, both your safety and your peace of mind are of utmost importance to the leaders of this temple. Every decision we make is with that in mind. We will be prudent, and we will always take precautions we believe are necessary based on what we know at that time. When we need to convey specific information to you, we will inform you promptly via email, the temple app, and social media. We will also share information about resources we believe will help you and your family deal with this confusing and constantly changing situation. As of now, the decisions we made today regarding Shabbat services and religious school are for 1 week. We will assess those decisions during the coming week and decide how to move forward. Unless we are told otherwise by the appropriate authorities, we will continue to make major decisions on a week-by-week basis, and we will look at other upcoming events at Temple, along with clergy and staff duties, both inside the building and out in the community, on a case-by-case basis. Let me assure you, Congregation Shir Shalom will always be here to meet our congregants' needs, even if we must temporarily change the way we do so. Shabbat Shalom.
And thank you, Bruce. And again, we're really so blessed to have you and our entire leadership. It's times of crisis where we really understand how much we're needed for each other. So we're going to turn to a lot of comfort songs today, one in particular from Psalm 131. If you want to follow along, I know a lot of you are familiar. It's on page 128, Hine Ma Tovu Manayim. Let's give them just a minute to catch up to try to find the page. It's 128.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לילה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לילה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Cantor, I feel like so much as things have been changing, things that are normal, they come out in different ways that are unexpected. And the translation in this of the psalm is, how good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. And often we say, sit together, be together. How different those words are tonight when being together doesn't necessarily mean sitting in the same proximity to one another. It changes the whole fabric of how we are, how we learn in this day and age, how do we extend ourselves beyond the physical proximity to find the connection that we have to one another.
And in this time of social distancing, we stay in our dwellings, right? So we have to find these electronic ways to be together. And
This-
we're so happy.
This might
But
be
we
a
have the
good
setup.
mantra. I think this is a good mantra for people in this time.
Hine ma
to
tov.
Hine ma tov. You know, it really taps into that sense of isolation and needing to be together. And it's such a happy, hopeful song.
Well, it is sorrowful that we rejoice so much in Friday nights being together. And this is sorrowful, but yet we're still celebrating Shabbat. And there's still hundreds of people that can still participate through these, social media platforms with us until we just get through this period. You have to get through it, and then we can start up again.
So I'm going to set some ground rules because it's a little unusual out there. Sing with us. I know you can't sing here, but sing with us anyways. I'm the kind of person, I don't know, Cantor, if you're the same, but I will sing literally anywhere. I was singing in Trader Joe's today.
What were you singing?
Random songs, whatever comes to my head. It helped I was with my 7-year-old. But sing with us. And, when we do a ritual, join with us. So we're going to do candle lighting and Kiddush. And I would recommend, if you have some candles, go get them, find them. If you have wine, grape juice, whatever you consider to be something sacred for you, go and do it and lift up your cup with us. I'm going to invite Bruce and Joanne, who are here by my side, to go down and light our candles for us. The blessing itself, if you wanted to follow along, is on page 120. And because of microphones, as you're lighting it, we'll sing it. Maybe Cantor will sing it up here so that it's heard out in cyberspace. It's harder than it looks, right? Oh, no. Well, you don't
I know
have to
you're
go
running
to a
low.
store. You don't have to go to a store to get them.
But they're still running low, I think.
There we go. Available in our gift shop.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, the candles of our tradition that Jews have been lighting for thousands of years as a reminder of the resiliency of the human spirit, as a reminder of how much we have stored in our deep reservoir to lead us and to light the way in these challenging times. We have the Kiddush cup here, either one of you. If you want to lift, it would be on page 123. And please join with us in cyberspace as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, b'yava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim, to life. May we sanctify this beautiful day of Shabbat. To life and health, exactly. So why don't you both come up here, page 125. I think this is especially true. Where has this week vanished? And you guys can split it up.
Yes, sir.
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide.
Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide.
Well, Cantor, I think we have another guest that's going to come in the room. A spiritual guest. Shabbat.
I thought you were going to say Eliyahu Hanavi.
Well, you have to speak in the microphone or they're not going to hear you. Yeah, she was saying Elijah. Yeah, no, sort of like Elijah, but Shabbat, the presence of Shabbat. It's a guest that comes to us every week. We're going to turn to L'chadodi, which in your prayer books will be in the virtual. Those of you coming in, there's a link to the virtual prayer book that you can see, and this is on page 138 and 139. I think we'll sing our first 3 verses like we normally do. And then on the 9th verse, if you're at home, rise, face your doorway, wherever that is, and then welcome each other, whoever's in the room with you.
Lecha lecha dodi, ikrat lekakala, benem benem Shabbat mekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, ikrat lekakala, benem benem Shabbat mekabela. La 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 lecha dodi, ikrat lekakala, benem benem Shabbat mekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, ikrat lekakala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad Yishmi'anu elam echad Adonai echad u'shemo echad B'shem u'tiferet v'nitchila la 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 Lecha dodi likrat v'kakala B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela Lecha lecha dodi likrat v'kakala B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor ha'beracha Mirosh mikadem nezucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila la 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 Lecha dodi likrat v'kakala B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela Lecha lecha dodi likrat v'kakala B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela Mikdash melech yirmelucha Kumitzi v'tach ha'afecha Rav l'aksheva be'emek ha'pacha V'hu yachvol alaychem la 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 Lecha dodi likrat v'kakala B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela Lecha lecha dodi likrat v'kakala B'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabela ושלום, עצרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקקלה, פני פני שבת הקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקקלה,
פני פני שבת
הקבלה.
לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת הקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת. Well, I can safely say that we fulfilled the thing that I hope for every single week, which is that during the L'chadodi, everyone should be able to greet each other. And we actually accomplished that. When you have 5 people in the room, it's amazing. It's really not that hard. So I hope you also feel welcomed into our spiritual community. I saw a lot of you were looking on the Facebook section and type in. That's a lot of fun as we go through this. I want you to feel part of our spiritual community here. Again, we're using the virtual prayer book, and if you look on the link, it's on page 146. Our call to community, please, again, out loud. We are a community even if we're not together.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la la
In the next prayer, which is Mariv Aravim, in this section, as evening comes, there's a recognition of the day leaving and the evening and darkness coming, but that in time, the day will come again, that it's about the transition of time. I'd like to invite up Bruce and Joanne to read at the bottom of 149. This is the hour of change.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light.
Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn?
Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light.
What lies before us?
Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai
Hama'ariv Aravim.
You threw me. Boy, those words definitely have a different resonance. We're going to turn to Ahavat Olam, which is on page 150, the next page in the prayer book. Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות ושכבנו וקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, who loves us with your whole heart. Page 152, the Shema. We remain standing.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We invite you to be seated as we turn to the V'ahavta prayer on page 154.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meotecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot hayatecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשברך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
On page 157, we have one of my favorite readings. It's a reading about leaving Egypt. It's actually good any time, at any moment, because the world, no matter what it is never perfect. And that's exactly what it's about. So let me bring up Bruce and Joanne at the very top of 157.
Are you doing any work tonight? Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot.
That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness.
That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. That's nice. That is a nice prayer.
It feels like the 1960s. I don't know, something about that. I feel Abraham Joshua Heschel's with us. Let's turn to the Micha Mocha, page 158, as we celebrate freedom, even temporarily.
I'm sorry, I touched something here. There we go.
I was going to say, I thought I heard cyberspace.
I know. Vi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, vi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot hosefele, nora tehilot hosefele, malchutecha ra'uvodecha, bokei hayom, לפני משה ומרים, זריענו ואמרו, אדוני כימלוך, אדוני כימלוך, לעולם ועד.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, for redeeming Israel. There's a wonderful Native American proverb that says, we do not inherit the world from our parents. We bequeath it to our children. It's a way of turning it around so that we know, yes, we've gained a lot of miracles, but it's about the process of passing it on. And on page 159, that's exactly what it is. It's thinking about L'Dor Vador, the generations to come. And this time, I'm going to read. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. I invite you to rise, if you are able, for our Amida, our standing prayer, page 164. And if you're following along, again, there is a digital link on the email and Facebook to the prayer book. If you're following along, we will continue for several pages for the beginning of the Amidah in Hebrew through page 170, and then we'll be continuing silently.
Adonai sipatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Bimotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sorah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanorah, Eloyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'Neihem, Le'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afor, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidom Evach, Melech Meimit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, ונאמר אתה חיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני וחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
As we head into our silent portion, I'd actually like to do a reading that's on page 169. We don't often read this, but it just seems to really evoke this moment. It's about finding hope in difficult times. We pray that we might know before whom we stand the power whose gift is life, who quickens those who have forgotten how to live. We pray for the winds to disperse the choking air of sadness, for cleansing rains to make parched hopes flower, and to give all of us the strength to rise up toward the sun. We pray for love to encompass us, for no other reason save that we are human, for love through which we may all blossom into persons who have gained power over our own lives. We pray to stand upright, we fallen, to be healed, we sufferers. We pray to break the bonds that keep us from the world of beauty. We pray for opened eyes, we who are blind to our own authentic selves. We pray that we may walk the garden of a purposeful life, our own powers in touch with the power of the world. Praise be the God whose gift is life, whose cleansing rains let parched men and women flower towards the sun. It's a really beautiful one. We're going to continue with our own prayers through page 180. Take time now just to reflect. Find what is you're thankful for in your life. And whenever you're ready, you may be seated.
Shalom b'romav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru, yiberu, amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru, yiberu, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Israel, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'Yakov Yisrael.
But as we were standing here and getting ready and thinking about the Amidah, I realized we don't have Harvey is always my marker. When he sits down, then we know it's okay. We've given enough time.
And Ira,
And Ira, oh yeah, Ira's good too.
and sometimes herb sugar.
Yeah, boy, we're looking at the same people. It's amazing. Everyone prays at a different speed. Well, I don't know. I think Cantor's familiar. I grew up a little at the yeshiva environment when I was in 3rd grade. And then the yeshiva, they actually, from an early age, they test you at your speed. And the fastest, it doesn't matter about comprehension. The fastest that gets through a prayer, that you feel like you're on the top of the world. So I just remember, I was never the fastest, but I was, up there at a certain rate. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Paul. You're always here. You're such an important part of our community. We never get to recognize you. Thank you for all you do in bringing music. I got to see you with your other community down the road, the Methodist on Harlem Road. And they were taking you out for your birthday, and I was feeling a little jealous. We have to share you with another community. So in this week's Torah portion, Ki Tisa, we have one of my favorite moments. It's not my favorite moment because it's a happy moment or a joyful, or even one that you would necessarily notice. It's one of my favorite moments because it's just so very human. And in particular, it's Moses' reaction. It is that moment, because this is the golden calf, the Egel Hazahav. It's that moment where Moses has been up on Mount Sinai, and he's feeling so good. He's feeling connected. He feels in his life that everything is just moving around in the right way. He knows exactly how to communicate to God. He knows exactly how to lead the people. He's doing it. It's wonderful. I mean, we can only imagine this is the one moment that all of us who crave that connection to God, we want to be there with Moses. We want to commune with God directly, and not just for 1 hour or 1 minute. He's up there for 40 days. There's really a sense of intimacy and connection. And I've never gone on a silent retreat. I have to confess, it's one of my biggest fears in my whole life. I have known many colleagues. Actually, my bar mitzvah rabbi, Sheila Peltz-Weinberg, she brought it into the Jewish world. And she does silent retreats for rabbis, which is unbelievable. One of my colleagues, Malka Bina, who unfortunately her son was supposed to have his bar mitzvah this weekend, it got canceled. But she would always go, and I always admire that strength. To be up there, it's not easy, but Moses has been there. He's found his groove. He's been able to find his zen up there. And he just feels so good. And it's nearing the end of 40 days, and he's going to come down. And he's been on his vacation, his retreat, his spiritual retreat. And he feels like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to be really sad to leave this state, but I'm excited to see my chevre, my family, my community, my brother and sister, my children, my wife, all that I love. I'm going to go back down there and I'm going to find them, and it's going to be wonderful. But it's not quite yet. And he's in that middle of his meditation when suddenly God says, I think we need to cut our time together just a little short. And Moses is startled. He has this moment, which I picture the feeling I get every time I go on vacation or right before vacation. You probably have had this pang in the stomach. Did I lock my door? Did I Did I turn off the stove? Did I, on and on, all the many lists where you realize you have to kind of battle what it is, whether that's actually the reality or not. Usually I can convince myself everything's okay. Sometimes I'll call my neighbor to check, is my house burned down? There was a funny thing, just as an aside. My family and I went to Epcot in Disney World, which is now shut down, but we went there, and they have the big ball, and you go through this time capsule of human history. It's amazing. As someone who likes history, it's not necessarily so accurate, but you go all the way up the ball, and then you come down, and it's a slow ride, so I love this ride. And when you come down on the other side, they have a little computer program, and they ask you a bunch of questions, sort of decide who you are and what your future will look like. And one of the questions are you most worried when you go on a trip about your dog or your house? And my wife, of course, presses dog. I mean, of course it's my house. So anyways, Moses is coming down that mountain, and he's disturbed. What's going on? Why did God cut this off suddenly? I don't really understand. And he starts coming down the mountain, and he hears noises, and he's unclear. And when you come from far away into something, you can often not be sure, what is it? Imagine looking at something way off in the distance. Is it good? Is it bad? I always think about a train coming from very far away. Sometimes I wait for my mother-in-law's train to come in up in Depew. And the train, you're kind of waiting. You can kind of see it. Is it there? Is that the train? What's exactly going on? And that's the moment, and he hears these noises, and he thinks, what is going on? And at first, it sounds like joyful. He thinks that it's people at first he thinks it's calamitous. He thinks there's a war going on. That while he's been up at the mountain, he's the general, suddenly someone's attacked them. It's really terrible. And he goes a little closer, and he realizes, no, it's kind of joyful. They're dancing. And that seems strange to him. Why are they dancing? We didn't come down with the Torah yet. What's going on? The Ten Commandments, you didn't even get anything. Why are you dancing? He gets closer and closer until he realizes that it's actually the people having broken the central precept written on the Ten Commandments that he's carrying over there, that they are worshiping an idol. And we know the scene at that moment. He breaks the Ten Commandments, and it's just utter sadness. But it's this moment of transition where you really don't know what is happening, but you know your world is about to change. This is the moment that I felt this week. I can't say exactly when I felt it. The coronavirus, COVID-19 as it's called, has been in the news pretty steadily for the last 3 months. And it's been there, and it's kind of been gaining momentum. And things had started to shift over the course of the week. But you, in your own lives, all of us here that are gathered, there was a certain moment where this week went from a predictable week where all of you would be gathered here with us to a week that is unlike possibly anything that you've seen in your experience. And that is the moment that is captured in this little tiny bit of Torah. This moment when Moses comes down and he can't decipher the noises. He doesn't know what it is. And as soon as he hears it, he knows his relationship to God, his relationship to the people. Everything has changed. And everything that he had been working towards is different. And the future that he hoped for was different. So we sit now in one of those moments. The good news from the Torah, as awful as the golden calf, and I only described to you the beginning of that story, really, because he comes down and he breaks the Ten Commandments, which is a terrible thing, but that's just a physical, that's just a physical item. It's not a human being. It of course gets a lot worse. Everyone involved ends up dying. It's terrible. God and the people are at odds with each other. Moses is at odds. Everyone is it just really breaks down. But the good news is that doesn't last forever. This is one moment we come to every year, Ki Tisa. And every year we read this. And our people's journey did not end at Ki Tisa. The human story didn't end at Ki Tisa. It is only one moment. It's what I've been telling my kids this week. We have entered history. So often in our lives, we go by 1 hour, 1 day, assuming that the next day, like we're on a treadmill, we go on feeling that there is a natural step for us to take. It might be scary. There might be things in our life that we're facing, that we're nervous about, that we're excited about. But it is only one step along the way, and one step that might be remembered or not. But I told my kids this week, this is a moment that has entered history. What I meant by that is this is a moment where we will remember it. Now, I can't tell you exactly how much we'll remember. Maybe Cantor and I and Bruce and Joanne and Paul, we will never do an experience like this again. Maybe next week we are back on the table. Life has gone back to relative normal, and we're back in just our normal reading, just like we always are. I can't say whether it's 1 day, 1 week, 3 weeks, 2 months. We don't know. No one really knows. What we're trying to do at this point by having an empty room, as painful as that is for our community, is to, as we say, flatten the curve. Keep this under containment so that we can join together much sooner, so that we are together healthy and happy and have the strength, so that the golden calf, this moment, is just a blip. But we're in the middle, the beginning, middle, towards the end, we can't tell. But we are in the moment. We are in history. We're adjusting and adapting. There's one other moment, which I talked about in my Torah thoughts, that I want to bring forth. Another moment of adaptation. That God, it's a great gift that God gives Moses and us in turn. And that has to do with this human desire for connection. We so much want to be together. We are social beings. Even those of us who consider ourselves introverted, it's been shown in, Shira Klayman, a doctor in our community who studies this, she told me that even people that really would prefer to be by themselves, if you test them and you take them into the subway when there's no coronavirus, take them into the subway and you tell them that they have to introduce themselves to a couple of strangers, they feel better after the experience, even if they didn't think they would at the beginning. We are very social creatures. And we've learned the hard way the last couple of weeks. We've learned to do the chicken. We've learned to do the squirt, the sanitation, the sanitizer, as my daughter once called Santa Claus. We do the sanitizer. We've learned to just be respectful of each other's spaces, and that hasn't been easy. But we've adjusted and learned. But we're learning that we can show affection in many ways. We can show affection even when we're not in the same physical space with each other. We can tell one another that we care, that we love, that we're appreciative of what they offer without actually being anywhere near to one another. And this is the great gift that God gives. Moses really needs, after this calamitous moment, he really needs connection. He wants to do what is human. And Moses is introverted, I would say. He mostly spends time by himself. But he wants that loving connection. And he's closest to God. So he wants to feel it from God. So he says to God, please, let me see your glory, which we interpret, let me see your face. Let me connect to you. Let me shake your hand. Let me hug you. or you hug me. Let me feel you, feel your presence with me. And God says, no, I can't do that. That's not possible between the divine and human. If I did that, it would be Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it wouldn't be pretty. If you've seen the movie, you know, with the faces melting, it's really quite disgusting. That's the experience of what would happen. So Moses is, instead, God says, I'm going to place you in what's called the cleft of the rock, which I imagine a crevice of Mount Sinai there. And instead of having you face me, you're going to face the rock. And you're going to feel behind you the wind. You're going to feel behind you the spirit of this incredible life and world that we've been given. And God does that, and Moses experiences this, and God says that 13 attributes we say every high holidays. Adonai, Adonai, El Rahum V'chanu. God who is loving, God who is merciful. There is that sense of love in the way that God can show. And what I've learned through this experience, I think especially the last 2 days, and Bruce can tell you, I can pinpoint the moment where I knew my life had changed this week. It was 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday when I came to my senses and I realized there's no choice. We're going to likely get to this moment of speaking in a empty room. And when that moment and the next couple days talking to people, community leaders in different religions in our own community, and trying to process what we're going through. And what's started coming through to me, especially, by the way, I said goodbye to the residents of Weinberg because I didn't think I would see them for a little while. And other people, I thought that things might be cut off. I started getting really emotional and just feeling that loss and just that love, that deep connection that we have to one another. And I started saying it much more overtly. And I encourage you to do the same. Tell the people you love that you love them. Appreciate the small and the big in our lives. We don't know how long we'll be in this moment. I know we will make it through to the other side. I know there will be a moment where you're back with us and we're not doing this again. That we're able to collect again. But until that time, just try your best to appreciate. Call us. Contact us by Facebook, any way. We want to be connected. We want to be in community. We haven't forgotten about you, even if we're not in physical proximity. I wish you luck in your journey, and I'm so blessed and lucky to be in this wonderful community and to have the types of relationships that we have here and the types of resilience. May we continue to be there for one another. May we continue to feel the strength of our community, of our tradition as we face hard times. Bruce says, why are you sitting down? Well, I realize there has to be silence in between. Well, you could pause whatever you want. We're going to go to our healing prayer. I've heard a lot of people that are looking for healing, and we're going to say our names, and we'll give a chance to say those prayers out loud. Speak them either in your heart, those you're thinking about. There are people affected by this crisis, but also just people going through really hard times. And I hope we can extend our love to them. If that is the situation for you, I hope you do not feel alone. The prayer itself is on page 370. We are remembering as a community Chad Ayers, Susan Bell, Vivian Burstein, Peter Coyle, Kathy and Chris Crawford, Joyce Gafter, Greg Hill, Marcy Leonard, Diane Lynch, Natasha Kokin. If you could send some extra love and appreciation to Natasha, she is going through some real hard times. Cindy McCulloch, David Parizo, Larry Perlitz, Mohan Shaiche, Carol Silverman, Gail Siskin, Howard Smallin, Flora Sneh, Laura Spire, Avraham ben Moshe, Sarah bat Chaya, Malka bat Naphtali, Gershon ben Shlomo, Kayla bat Miriam, Ayelet Atara. Send some special prayers to this person whose Hebrew name, Ayelet Atara. We'll go around.
My cousin Eva Hatala.
So take a moment to say your own prayers, and they'll join the prayers of the community. Again, the Mishaberach is on page 370.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Let's hold on to that healing prayer and that hope in there, and let it nourish our own spirits. We're going to turn now to the end of our prayer service on page 586 for Aleinu. And this is about hopeful times. It's about hoping for that moment where the world is repaired, and it's about our duty to go out and do that. Thank you, Bruce and Joanne, for opening our ark. And if you are out there, please rise for this.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגומרנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים במשרחים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591. the ark is closed, you may be seated. We're going to be turning now to page 598, which is our mourner's Kaddish. This is our chance where we remember those that are no longer with us, those who are in our hearts right now. We have lights lit around the room. I know you can't see them, but of our loved ones. And this is one of the hard spaces in our service because this is where we most want to be together. Often families come to sit amongst us collectively to remember their loved ones, and it's harder to do. I will tell you, if you do want a name listed and it's you weren't able to be here obviously tonight, or you want it on a different time, just call Nancy in our office and she can put it on the list for that week. We hope that we can support you in your memorial prayers. We're remembering this week Beatrice Bitsy, that's how she went, Schultz, who died this past week. We're also remembering Dorothea Brooks, Harriet Terry Cohen. I didn't realize her name was Harriet. Terry Cohen, who died just a couple weeks ago, last week. Marilyn Hawk, Ray Heller, Ellen Markell, Diane Schlanger, Erwin Schreiber, Murray Soroka, Richard Sperling, Richard J. Tucker, Paul Zimmerman. And on our yard-side list, those who died in years past: Rosalind Barth, Harold Bass, Ray Biter, Julius Berger, William Berger, Sarah Bergman, Joseph Bink, Renee P. Bongiorno, Alvin David Cantor, Evelyn Ehrenreich, Betty Eisen, Maxwell Ellis, Samuel Falk, Aaron Fine, Marvin Fox, Frederick Gale, Herbert A. Gersman, Morris Glazer, Joseph Goldberg, Francis Cohn Goldman, Marvin Green, Jack Hersbrun, Geraldine Horwitz, David Jacobs, Arthur Judd, Nora Judelson, Aaron Klein, Bella Kremer, Rose Kutzman Kushner, Carolyn Landau, Sarah Laval, Shalom Levy, Edith H. Liebenstein, Dr. Erwin Liebenstein, Ida Lipman, Marjorie Longberg, Anna Maranka, Ralph Morris, Celia Mosmond, Roma Beth Olin, Evelyn Perlmutter, Clara Picker, Henry Pohl, Judith Polikoff, Irving Redlick, Jack Sachs, Jules Saltman, Maddie Schoenfeld, Pamela Shunk, Edward Schuller, Marvin P. Seller, Sarah Sellers, Rose Simon, Bertha Strauss, Louis Tansky, Arnold Tarner, Natalie Tombach, Madeline Truhoft, Pessa Leah Weiss, Ruth Weiner, Thelma G. Weissman, Joseph Wohl, Isidore Zimmerman. If you have another name, feel free to say it out loud. We'll take all those names into our hearts, and if it's your custom to rise and you'd like to join us, again, please say it out loud with us. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirte v'yamlik malkute, B'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, B'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudasha b'rechu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'yimuru amen. Yehi shlomo Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimuru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimuru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be
Amen.
seated. Zikronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. I'd like to invite up Bruce Chorus, as always, to give our announcements. We do have announcements.
They're important.
Though they change by the hour,
They are
right?
important, and Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. And again, thank you for your understanding of the decisions that we are making, including streaming services tonight only, as a precaution due to the coronavirus. Thank you, of course, to Rabbi Alex and Cantor Frank and Paul Staley for being here tonight and having this be a normal service. And that's what our mission is. We have to be as normal as possible. Life does go on, and Friday night services, Shabbat services are so important, and we will do them for you. So, as you may have seen in the email that went out, we have made a number of decisions impacting this weekend and the coming week. There is no religious school this Sunday or Tuesday. That is being assessed on a week-by-week basis. This comedy night, Sunday night, at Rob's Comedy Playhouse has been postponed. Watch your emails for an announcement regarding a new date for that. Bingo will not be held Monday night. A whole bunch of events next week, pretty much through next Thursday, are all canceled. That includes the Buffalo Corner reading series on Thursday. So we're pretty much taking this on a week-by-week basis. So as of now, we have canceled everything through next Thursday, and we're going to assess things on a week-by-week basis and sometimes on a daily basis. So keep watching your emails, watch for notifications on the app, watch for notifications via social media. We will get information to you as promptly as we can when there's information that we need to get to you. So next Friday night, as of now, Friday night Shabbat services. We don't know what form they will take, so please stay tuned for that. By the way, looking ahead to next Saturday, the pre-Passover Pasta Plus party, which was scheduled for a week from tomorrow night, that is canceled. Watch your emails. We will continue to keep you posted on everything that we are doing or not doing, and we will make those decisions in as timely a fashion as we can. You know, I was thinking, by the way, as you were talking about the live stream and how important it is to people, we should acknowledge Larry Horowitz and Dan Kester for everything that they have done to make this live stream possible and so successful. And so many people, on a normal Friday night, so many people rely on the live stream. And at times like this, it is especially valuable to our congregants. So thank you to both Larry and Dan for everything that they have done. You know, it's interesting. I keep turning around and no one can hear me when I do that. When earlier last year and the year before, when we were dealing with all of the security issues after and concerns after Pittsburgh and after San Diego, and we've taken all the precautions here, I always closed all of my remarks and my letters with, hate is not welcome here. Well, right now we are taking precautions. We are being prudent, and I think we can safely say health risks are not welcome here. We care for you, we are here for you, and if you need anything from us, please let us know. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, I just want to second what Bruce said. You know, we appreciate your patience, and we hope that we can be a support mechanism for you, and we'll continue to do that. And I hope you found some joy tonight. I know I personally did, as hard as it was. I'm just kind of imagining everyone out there and creating community in a new way. Speaking of joy, I think we're ready for a Dono Olam.
Yeah.
That's always so joyous.
So right after Adon Olam, we're going to do the motzi. I won't forget it today. And then we're going to go right to page, for those that are following along in your virtual Siddur, your virtual Mishkan Tefillah, we're going straight to the Tefillat HaDerech by Debbie Friedman on page 649.
So
So this is
first
kind of
is,
after the service.
so 6:25 is Adon Olam.
Adon
And
Olam.
then 6:49 is the prayer, the Traveler's Prayer by Debbie Friedman.
With the motzi in between.
I'll need you guys. Okay.
Yeah. Adon Olam, Asher Malach,
Share Allah.
B'terem Kol, Yitzir Divral, Yet Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemon Nikra, Adon Olam, V'yachorei, Kiknot Zakol, Nevado Yimlach Nora, Adon Olam, Behu Haya, Behu Hofer, Behu Yevatifara, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Divral, Yet Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemon Nikra, Adon Olam, Behu Echad, B'yin Sheni, B'cham Shilo Lehachbira, Adon Olam, B'li Yidayni, B'li Tachlit, B'lo Ha'oz Lehamisa, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Divral, Yet Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemon Nikra, Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Koli, V'tzorkev li b'yitzhara, Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanos li, Menakosi b'yom ekra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivral, Yet Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemon Nikra, Adon Olam, B'yado Avkid Ruchi, B'yit Nishan B'yayira, Adon Olam, B'yiruchi, Giviyati, Adon Alim Elohim La, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Divral, L'yed Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azoy Melech Shemon Nikra, Adon Olam.
All right, here, I need some gluten, people.
We have,
Challah. Ooh, and we will not in the future be breaking
no,
it
we
up.
won't do this.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. V'te'avon. I know the one thing we don't have to do, they don't have to take out their leaflets.
Oh,
We do. As you,
Enter, Rabbi, return your prayer books without the leaflet.
as you watched in peace, may you go out in peace, and may we all be together soon.
6:49. May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.